am currently in the safest place in the world right now, China.
So I have this sensor on my door now. I'm not sure exactly what it does, but it does something. As you can see, it's propped up with some extra strong sellotape. It actually fell down.
We have seen the opening up of some businesses that were closed. You are now allowed to eat/drink in Starbucks, but only one per table. There are more people out. We see lots of people walking in our complex now. However, they also have their masks on, even though the government did say we could have our masks off outside, so long as you're a meter apart from other people. Buses and subways are still pretty empty, but I did see some people on a bus, and the subway is the least crowded it's ever been, and basically it's one, like every other seat, so people won't sit next to each other. And that's like insane because normally they're packed in there like sausages. Like literally one time I was trying to get on the subway, I had to like throw myself into like a mosh pit, and now it's like completely empty and you get a seat, no problem. Buses also are more empty than subways, so buses are super not crowded right now. The roads still don't have a lot of traffic on there. However, they have a little bit more traffic. We're seeing it pick up a bit. It's interesting because when the epidemic was at its worst, the people in the grocery store, near us at least, were not wearing hazmat suits. And now they are wearing hazmat suits. So I find that interesting. All of the grocery stores that we have been to in the past week, the checkout people have had on hazmat suits. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe they had a shortage of them before and now they have like an excess, so now they're able to have a hazmat suit. Like maybe they wanted to before, but they didn't have any. And now they do. That's my only guess, because I don't understand why when now that it's like low, they would all of a sudden put them in hazmat suits. I've never left Beijing since January, and yet I'm not allowed in some places, and that's discrimination. Like, I can prove that I haven't left Beijing since January. Why am I less safe because I'm a foreigner than a Chinese person who just got back in Beijing 2 weeks ago? Stores seem to be unclear on the policy because it's inconsistent, because some like haircutting places and gyms will say that the government said that they are not allowed to let foreigners in. However, there are other ones that are letting foreigners in. So either those ones are breaking the rules, or the other ones are just trying to use that as an excuse to not let foreigners in. So basically there's like kind of some discrimination against foreigners. However, overall, like your casual person, there's not any issue. Like people are still as friendly as they usually are. Like in any country, you have some people who, you know, are xenophobic and some people who aren't, just like any country. But anyway, quarantine. Beijing was getting a lot of import cases. So that's cases of people who overseas were getting sick. They were taking some medicine to make it so they didn't have a fever, and then they were getting to Beijing. So originally they diverted some flights from Beijing. We actually live right near the airport that gets a lot of foreign flights, so we have lots of friends who were able to tell us what happened. And so for them, they landed in Beijing, and the wait was insane. They got shipped to this like kind of processing center, which is actually super close to us. And I was wondering why all these cars were out there, and I should have filmed it, but I didn't. But yeah, so it's basically this exhibition center where they'll have like different exhibitions like cars or laundry hampers. Anyway, it's this huge exhibition center, and they were processing them there because there wasn't enough room in the airport to process, and it was taking hours, and then they were sending the person to where they would be quarantined at. So everyone was required to be quarantined for 14 days. They're attaching some kind of device above people's doors. We're not really sure what it was. And we feel like some of the property people may have been like exaggerating as to what it was, because somebody's property manager told them that it was gonna immediately call the police if they left their apartment. And we were pretty sure that's not true, because my one friend fell down several times and no police came. Most of us think it is a motion sensor of some kind. However, if you're in quarantine and you have to open the door to get like the deliveries of food, the door's gonna open. So if it's a motion sensor, I'm not really sure what it's detecting. There are various accounts for what that device is. I think the best guess is motion detector. They're requiring people to get tested.
No.
Yeah, so that's the people who are currently on quarantine before this new policy came in, where they have diverted all planes from Beijing. So foreign planes are not allowed to land in Beijing anymore. They go to a different city, and you have to do your quarantine in a different city, and you have to pay for the hotel at a slightly discounted rate of 70% a night, which is not that discounted. And you have to do a 14-day quarantine in the hotel. You aren't allowed to go back to your house. And then if you pass that, then you can finally go to Beijing. So that's the new policy. So the people who are currently having to take these tests and have the sensors are ones who were already admitted into Beijing from the old policy, where they were just like checking people. So new policy is that they've canceled all foreigners being allowed into China. There are still flights coming in, but they have to only have Chinese passports. You can fly out of China though. School is still out, and I am making award-winning lessons, of course, as usual. Zoom class is great. Definitely all the kids pay attention when I can only see 4 at a time. There's no issues. It's great. No start date back for Beijing. However, some places in China have been allowing high schoolers and older kids to go back so that they can still graduate on time. Those are places that were not hit very hard, and so they're allowing some of the older kids to start to come back. They're kind of phasing how they're letting kids come back to school. Yeah, I've got tons of toilet paper. I can send you some toilet paper. Like, are you okay? Wuhan, where this all started at, is now better. They're just treating the current cases. They're letting people out of lockdown. They're allowed to like wander the streets now. And they had emergency medical staff from other places in the country fly into Wuhan, and they were now allowed to go back to where they came from. So Wuhan is getting a lot better, so that's great news. They're spraying stuff in some restaurants, like in the restaurants as you're eating. I'm like, what the heck are you spraying on me? Okay, so this was always happening in some places, but now it's happening everywhere. So everywhere you go, you have to write your name down, write all this other information, like your passport number, your phone number, whether you're a male or a female. Have you ever been to Wuhan recently? How long have you been in Beijing? Like, I don't know. Most of them are asking the same questions, but there's a couple of random restaurants and places that have a different questionnaire going on. I don't know. But anyway, mostly it's name and phone number, and then you have to scan this QR code so that they track your phone so they can like stalk you. And then if like, I'm guessing they're trying to figure out if somebody does get infected in a place where you went, they're gonna like track everyone down and be like, you went to this place, you need to be tested now. So yeah, they're like monitoring where you're going. Face mask! Guys, I got like this whole pack of face masks finally. I was wearing the same face mask for 100,000 years, and it was like so thin, it was practically see-through, and I'm surprised that places were letting me in with that mask, but they were, because I guess everyone was kind of at that point where like their masks were probably not effective anymore, because you couldn't get them. But I recently got, I found one mask, and I was like so excited, and I paid like 120 RMB for one mask, and they were clearly worried people were gonna steal that little mask because they had like one of those don't steal things on it. And then I finally found somebody who had masks, and I got like a pack of 50 masks for like 150 RMB, and I was like, I can't believe I just paid 120 for one mask. I was so annoyed, but anyway, desperate times. Now, in addition to taking your temperature, a lot of places are doing they're either like taking your picture and somehow reading your temperature, or they are doing like a full thermo scan of your body. So yeah, that's happening. People are starting to put like more permanent systems into place because they're just kind of getting used to this new normal, and people have like established certain ways to get your mail, and like people are just kind of used to it. They've figured out where to do deliveries at. They've like taped off sections so people know to stay a meter apart. Like basically people are kind of just getting used to this whole thing. It's definitely not like back to normal, but it's almost like a new normal, like what people are used to now. You kind of just like, it was so cute. There was this little girl, she was like 2, and she was clearly used to having her temperature checked because she like rolls up her sleeve and hands and like shows her wrist to the guard. Like she's like basically used to it now. The main change over here is like how foreigners are treated and like what is happening with new arrivals coming in. That's the like big change over here. But yeah, for the most part, most everything is still the same basically, except some new businesses have opened up and you can have your mask on outside, but not everyone has got the memo. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. If you would like to stay tuned, my channel is Everything Rebecca Lorraine, and you can watch for more. And I will not only be making Corona videos, believe it or not, I also make writing videos in my mind. I've made them, like they're really good in my mind. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and if you would like to stay tuned for more, or for other stuff from me, like writing videos, reading videos, travel videos, I might put pictures here. Probably not though. You can subscribe to my channel, which is Everything Rebecca Lorraine, and watch more of me for some reason if you want to. Okay, bye! Thanks for watching! Okay guys, I don't know if you can see it, but there are stars visible in Beijing, and we checked that they're stars and not airplanes. Yeah, they're stars. There's like 3 whole stars. Oh, 4! Wow, you can see